Hey everyone, Centurion here. The last of Age of Overlord cards just got released, so I just kind of wanted to quickly brush over them, see what's good, see what's not, and kind of get like a live reaction to them. So the first one here is Seishu Rutin. Apparently it's Imduck on the card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Target one Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster on the field, return that face-up monster to the extra deck, then you can special summon one appropriate monster from either graveyard to your field based on the type of monster returned. Fusion, Fusion, a monster with the same attribute as the returned monster. Synchro, a monster with a lower level than the returned monster. Xyz, a monster with a level equal to the return monster's rank, and Link, a monster with the same type as the return monster. This is pretty okay. So this is basically compulse for extra deck monsters. It doesn't provide any prevention saying your opponent can't respond to it, so they can probably negate it. But it also acts as a monster reborn. Now, if it just said from your graveyard, you'd hardly have any application to it. But since it can go from the opponent's graveyard, most of these effects can apply. Like, for instance, you're going against Salamangreat or Cyberse, the Link with the same type, yeah, they'll likely come up. Xyz, that will always come up. Synchro, that will always come up. Fusion can come up. But the issue is the relevance of the cards being special summoned. That, if they flow to your deck, it'll just be a body at most. So it's okay. Puts one back, gives you a monster, so it's kind of like a +1 in card economy. But the +1 that you're getting of your monster, I don't know. Next up is Mourn Fallen Comrades with Lament of the Immortal Bushi. The Immortal Bushi was a monster. It's a level 3 warrior, 1200 attack. If you have only warriors in your graveyard, you can special summon it during your standby phase. So all monsters in your graveyard become warrior monsters. Once per turn during the end phase, you can destroy all monsters you control. So to kind of synergize with that, I just say run a DPE package, it'll do you better. The destroying all monsters you control may have some relevance to Fire Kings and maybe Neptith's cards. Conquer Planets with Invasive Alien Species IAS. Invasive Alien Species IAS. So it's like as if it says, rest in peace, RIP. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects while there is a face-up card in the field zone. Okay. If there is a face-up card in your opponent's field zone, you can target one monster they control and destroy it. If you do, this card gains 1000 attack. Okay. If there is a face-up card in your opponent's field zone and this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon it. It's an okay card. It doesn't really have a way that it can special summon itself, so this is normal summon reliant. And with things with a normal summon, you could probably be doing a lot better. But popping a monster and then gaining 1000 attack is okay, and it can't be. It's really also a going second card. If you're going first, this is just I don't know. You're better off something like Gaga Gigo or something. Although it does have a good graveyard ability, so maybe something with Ogdoadic, perhaps, as a going second option. Watch for Falling Tarai. This is a Earth Fairy effect level 4/0/0. You can only use the effect of this card's name once per turn. If this card is in your hand, you can target one face-up monster in the main monster zone that activated its effects this turn, destroy it. If you do, special summon this card to the zone that monster was in. This basically reads Kurikara, Divine Incarnate, but worse. Number one, it destroys it as opposed to Kurikara, which was a cost of tributing. So anything that activates turn that has targeting or destruction protection, it's irrelevant. The only good thing I'd say is that if you do get it off, you can special summon a 0/0 to your opponent's side, which you can beat over. And it's also searchable with the Vernisylph cards, is the only thing I'll give it. But otherwise, not great. Will you gamble with Card Scanner? This is an upgrade from Card Trader. Once per turn, you can declare one monster type monster spell trap. Each player reveals the bottom card of their deck, and if they revealed a card of the type, they add it to their hand, otherwise they place it to the top of the deck. If this card is in its own spell and trap zone is destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can make your opponent place one card from their hand onto the bottom of the deck. Now, if you play something like Pot of Prosperity, sure, you can add another card to your hand. However, you also run the risk that your opponent just gets to add a card from deck to hand, because they'll usually know the ratio of the cards in the deck. God forbid you play this against Super Heavy Samurai and they just call monster. Fantastic, you also gave them a card. But the second effect is pretty good. I'm not sure if there's a way that you can manipulate your opponent's deck, and so that they just won't know what cards they will have. So, mid card, I'd even dare say not good at all. Okay, and let's jump to the rest of them. Get Abducted by UFO Light. So this is a Fire Illusion monster. Level 8, 15/15. You can only use the third effect of this card once per turn. Your opponent can't target this card with card effects except during the battle phase. Okay. The standard illusion thing that's happening now, if this card battles, neither can be destroyed by that battle. During the end phase, you can draw one, then banish one card from your hand. And if you do, this card gains 500 attack for each banished by this effect. Oh, you can banish one or more cards from your hand. Okay, so I understand this now. I don't know, maybe with Goaty, this is relevant. But how are you getting this onto the field is my question. Overall, not a good card. Not a good card. And now we have Hanayama Ningo. This is a Earth Spellcaster Tuner, level 3, 0 and 2100 defense. When you draw this card, you can reveal it, special summon it. At the start of the battle phase, if you have more cards in your deck than your opponent does, this card gains attack equal to the difference times 300 until the end of this turn. During the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, place it to the bottom of the deck. This is kind of a mixed card here. On the one hand, it kind of reminds me of Horn of the Unicorn. Horn of the Unicorn, if it's sent to the graveyard, it puts it to the top of the deck. So, if you keep, and you can't really use it, the special summon effect, if it's in your opening 5, you have to draw it for the turn, which is mid. And sometimes you really don't want to draw this thing. You'd maybe prefer a better out, like Evenly Matched, Dark Ruler No More, Forbidden Droplet, need I say more. The battle phase attack thing, probably good for Runics if they ever had the opportunity to get a battle phase. However, getting a free level 3 tuner that you can potentially use for synchronous turn on turn is pretty good, or for link climbing. It can have some relevance. Overall, I'd say pretty bad card. Treat Yourself with Oyatsu Tsumamuhin. Apologies if I butchered it. A light plant level 4, 16/2. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated that targets this card, or when this card is targeted for an attack, you can special summon a token, a plant, light level 1, 800, 800. Once per turn, when your opponent would special summon a monster, you contribute one normal monster, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monster. The good thing is that your opponent doesn't have to target this card. You can target itself to special summon the token, and then you can, if I understand this right, you can tribute the token. But overall, I think probably a bit too slow. Maybe we'll see some playing like Rickerson Avalon, or have synergy with like Mecha. What is it? Not Mecha Phantom Beast. I forget it. So this is Tao the Great Chanter. It's a level 3 Earth Illusion. 1200, 900. You can only use the second effect. The first effect is the standard illusion effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one illusion monster in your graveyard, except Tao the Great Chanter. Special summon it in defense. Also, you can't summon from the... No. Special summon it in defense. Also, you can't special summon from the graveyard for the rest of the turn, except illusion monsters. So, it's pretty good. You can Foolish Burial it, and then target a illusion in your graveyard. But it does lock you into the monster type, but if illusions do see more good support in the sets that come in, which I believe they will, this will be pretty good. So this is probably a card I just pick up for any future relevance. Try your luck with Oriori no Kamigami, a Dark Fairy effect, level 1, 100 and 0. So once per turn, you can toss a coin until the result is tails, and if you do, draw one card for every 2 heads. Each time either player tosses a coin while this monster is on the field, its attack is doubled a number of times equal to the number of heads. Okay, so this kind of reminds me of that question. It's like, would you rather receive $1 million now, or have 1 cent and double it for a month? And if you pick the second option, you'll have more than $1 million. Obviously, gambling effect. You can use second coin toss or whatever. Yeah, I mean, look, if you get it, then sure, it's good, but on average, probably not. And then the final card is a Scapegoat. Lol. I love that reference. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a non-token beast monster you control, you contribute 1 monster, special summon 1 Escape Sheep token, Beast Earth level 1 attack 0/0 in defense. If a non-token monster you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy one of your tokens instead. Overall, I'm just going to say not a great card at all. So guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, let me know. I'd love to do more of these. And thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.